Okay, I just watched Star Trek Picard, and yeah, more stuff I don't like. More unkid friendly. Here we go. So, as Star Trek continues its path down being the least family friendly show of the family friendly shows, um, so we get now uh, every episode has to have deepening profanity. Every episode has to have uh, some type of smoking or vaping or something like that. Now we get, uh, I can, of course, this says here coarse language and violence. So as I move forward a little bit, as they give you your preview of what else, we get this scene where this guy's being ripped apart and there's blood spattered everywhere. I'm like, this is not Star Trek. This is some kind of nasty horror show. This is like Saw, right? I mean, I'm not, this is not what I want from Star Trek at all. I mean, I mean the plot of this episode has some basic twists where, people, of course they have to dress up in, their weird clothing and all that, and then we get some other mom rejection things. Mom gets rejected, okay, fine. So much for women power. She's so frail she has to, leave for kids and whatever. Okay, fine. Then we get the uh, 7 of 9 turning on everybody, and we get everybody has a hidden agenda. We get uh, the one woman here at the end. She's kills the one guy. By the way, there's spoilers everywhere. I'm just going over the episode. So it's you know that back in the fourth episode they have their little space battle, and I think what they need to do is go find the people that do the Orville space battles and hire them, because the Picard space battles are boring, um, and very non-climactic. So I mean, this episode was, it says Stardust City Rag is the name of the episode. It should be everyone has an agenda, and we're just going to start killing people because of our agendas that no one's telling anybody about. So the blood spatter thing, I've already heard people talking about, they let their family sits down and watches the first episode, which, okay, it's a good introduction. Okay, some things are going on, we're learning some things. The second episode, profanity starts blowing out, and they're like, nope, TV's off, we're not watching this, this is over. So your audience is going to start trailing off. Then we get vaping, now we get blood spatter. It's, I mean, the amount that was in what they were showing and what they in that part of the episode was, like I said, it was like a teen's blood spatter, horror film. I'm like, this, no, this isn't what, even in First Contact, there wasn't any of that. It was like, people were having things put on them, because of the Borg, they were being assimilated and things like that. But none of this blood spatter and hacking and just that right there just distracts from the rest of the episode. It's like, okay, and then they have to show it again. I'm like, okay, well, I I didn't want to see that in the first place. It was completely unnecessary in the first place. The smoking and vaping is completely unnecessary. The foul language is completely unnecessary. So I'm getting to the point where this show is just completely unnecessary. My sister keeps asking me, should we subscribe and watch Picard? And anytime I make a video and she watches a video about what I'm seeing, she's like, there's no way in heck I'm giving CBS any money. So Seth MacFarlane, I think, is the only one that can save us. And even then, it's a tunnel. It's just going down and down and down. I don't, you know, I understand, okay, you want to make it, you only have so many episodes, so you have to give everyone an agenda that, you bring one person on the show for 10 seconds in episode 4, meaning 7 of 9, and then all of episode 5, and all episode 5 is her fulfilling her hidden agenda that she ultimately tricks everybody into thinking that she's not fulfilling, and then she goes back and does. So, it's getting to be the dystopian part is pushing too much into what the Star Trek part used to be. I mean, the one episode directed by Jonathan Frakes was probably the most Star Trek-ish of the episodes, but still, it's in this universe that they've created, the Picard universe that they've created, not the Star Trek universe from the, 400 episodes or so of original series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and Enterprise, that all have this same set of values and everything else. So then they come with these, 8 or 10 episodes, and we're just going to rip all that and throw the rest of it away. All this other canon stuff that we have already, and boom, here we go. So anyway, if you're still watching, I'm still going to try and watch it. I'm not watching them right away because of this. I don't want to sit there and watch it right away because then I just get irritated and frustrated with why this isn't what I want from Star Trek or anything. I mean, I'm okay with there being sacrifice, right? If you have something that someone is there and there's, it's the needs of the one outweigh, or the needs of the few. No, the needs of the many. I'm like, okay, let's check and reload. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one, right? Was a message in, Star Trek, in Voyage Home, Search for Spock, right? That was one of the messages. And they turned it around that sometimes there's a person who is important enough that sometimes the needs of the one outweighs the needs of the many, meaning the many can make the decision on their own to go and save somebody and help somebody. But in general, the needs of the many are always going to outweigh the needs of the one. And if you're doing something like that, if there's a sacrifice like that, have someone stay on a planet to hold off, people while, the rest of the crew escapes, and then still try and save the one if you can, right? Things like that, self-sacrifice, commitment, those kinds of things just aren't in this anymore, right? There's no common, I guess, what would you call it? Theme that contains those values from the original Star Trek. Everyone took, IDIC, infinite diversity, infinite combinations. What your race, gender, color, anything is in Star Trek shouldn't matter, shouldn't be thrust into the forefront, and anyone has the opportunity to do what they need to do in this universe without, having to be weighed down with, I need to have a job, to make money, to buy food, to have some place to live. All of those things in the old Star Trek universe in general are gone. I mean, some things in the outlying areas still had credits, and we had some of that in with the Ferengi and Next Generation, where they had gold press latinum and things like that, which was their system. But in Star Trek, in the Federation, none of that was there. But now we're kind of back into it, talking about deals, talking about money, can't pay you back for a loan, and things like that. It's very disconnected and very backwards from what Star Trek was and what I grew up seeing in Star Trek. So anyway, those are my thoughts on episode 4 and this whole show in general, and it continues to just get worse every episode. Just my thoughts and everything about it just continue to go down. If you would have taken some of the the gore and nastiness out, and I could have gotten into the rest of the episode, but you disconnected me right from the beginning. So Anyway, thanks for watching this. Like, share, subscribe, all those fun YouTube things. And we'll talk to you later. Take care.